Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to episode 5 of Confessions of an Etsy Shop Owner. So I've been in business, I've been an Etsy shop owner for about a month and a half, and I shared with you guys that I guess I really wanted to bring you guys along with me on the journey, mainly because it's getting started and that startup process is the most difficult, but also because a lot of you guys were asking me a lot of questions. So episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all located in a playlist entitled Shay's Budget Shop. So anything Shay's Budget Shop related will be in that playlist here on YouTube. I will link it up here and down below. So for today, we are at the tail end. And so today I want to share with you guys things that I've learned, things that I've struggled with. I want to share with you guys recommendations, suggestions, and of course I have polled all across my social media accounts to get some questions from you guys in order to answer them today so that I could hopefully end out the series with providing as much information as I possibly could. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to share every single little thing, but I did hope to kind of cover some of those questions that maybe other people didn't share freely or that other people may not have been too confident in asking other people. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is printers, ink, paper, that kind of thing. So as you guys know, I have the Canon Pixma MX922. I purchased it because it was supposed to be like a powerhouse and it was honestly pretty inexpensive given everything that it was supposed to do. And so I will say that the print quality for this little printer that I paid, I think $50 for, is superb. I have no complaints. Allegedly, according to my research, after each print, the print head, which I don't know what that is, cleans itself, and that's what makes the print quality so great. That's what I read. That's what I heard. That's what a little birdie told me. I don't know. You have to do your own research, but that's what I read. Now, while the print quality is actually superb, I don't know that I would fully recommend the printer because it's so slow. Now, it would be great for like a personal printer, a home printer, home office printer, which, I mean, I have a home office. Y'all get what I'm saying. It would be superb for if you weren't going to be printing a whole lot, but I print a whole lot, like this much. So therefore, I don't know that I actually recommend it due to it being so slow. I didn't mention that. It's slow. It's a great little printer, but it's very slow. It's like annoyingly slow. And I make it work because honestly, I feel like as soon as I go buy a new printer that prints really quickly, I'm not going to have a need for it. Like I have a fear that orders will slow down or something like that. So I just make it work. But yeah, I don't know that I actually would recommend the printer if you are planning on printing a whole lot. But I guess you might not really know that if you're starting out your Etsy shop. You're probably not going to know, you know, how many orders you're going to get and whatnot. But I printed nearly 400 orders using this printer, and I just feel like it just has taken way longer than what it needed to. But that's my beef with the printer. Now, as far as ink, I did want to show you guys how much ink I have used. This is how much ink I have used in a month and a half of being open. So I don't know how many cartridges are in here, probably like a good 20. I will tell you, I go through black ink like it is nobody's business. I don't know what it is, but the black ink comes and goes so fast. So I mean, I wouldn't say be mindful of that or anything like that. If you get this printer, definitely be mindful. I do want to say that, but I mean, I don't know that that's going to be the same case for every situation. But yeah, with this printer and with my sticker kits and whatnot, I'm printing a whole lot, using a whole lot of ink, and I'm using a whole lot of black. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, I decided to save these. Now, obviously, I'm going to recycle them and dispose of them properly. But I wanted to show y'all all of the ink that I have used since opening my Etsy shop. I've saved every single cartridge. So, speaking of ink, I started out using the OEM ink, which this is one of the ones that comes with the printer. So you're going to get, so the printer takes 5 cartridges. a blue one, a pink one, a yellow one, a small black one like this, and then a large black one, which I never really used that one for some reason, so I don't know if there's one in here. I may have replaced that one time. I'm not going to dig in here, but what I was going to say is it comes with the 5, and then I have purchased a whole bunch since then. This is the blue one, like I said, and I was using the OEM ink, or, you know, the original ink, or the brand ink, Canon brand ink at first, but I was spending so much money on ink that I was either going to quickly fail and shut down the shop, or just keep spending a whole bunch of money on ink and not really making a profit. Like, those were my only 2 options I felt at the time, like, if I would have continued to use the OEM ink. So somebody told me to try generic ink, which that's always sketchy, using generic ink in, you know, or just using a lot of generic things. Sometimes it's a little sketchy. I didn't want to ruin the printer or anything like that, but I thought, well, the printer's only like $50. If I ruin it, I'll just get a new one, or whatever the case is. So I did go ahead and go on Amazon, and I found this ink. So this is like the equivalent of the one that I just showed you. This is called Ink for Work. INK4WORK. It should be in my Amazon shop when I listed all of the products that I purchased from Amazon. If not, then I will add it to there. But yeah, it's going to be easy to find. So just search it if you have this printer. I don't know. I guess there are other printers out there that will take the same type of ink. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you have a Canon printer that takes this type of ink, you're going to be good to go. But I've been trying it in my MX922. I've had no issues with it. I did a lot of research before I purchased it. People had nothing but good things to say about it mainly. So I went ahead and purchased it. And I'm telling you that this ink is literally a fraction of the cost. And that is basically how I'm still in business. Now, I will share with you that whenever I decided to switch inks, that was a little tricky because basically this ink doesn't print like the other ink. Now, the quality of the ink is just the same pretty much. It's hardly a difference. But the print quality is a little different as far as the color, because like for the OEM pink, when I would print the OEM ink, when I would print like the January kits, you guys know that they're like a pinkish color, like a coral. Those would be more true to the color that the screen that I chose. But when I print with the OEM ink, but when I printed with the generic ink, the pink was a little darker, so it was a little different. So I had to try to go in and adjust the saturation and the contrast and do all of that. So that was a little annoying, but it's all worked itself out now. But if I had to share any type of tip or recommendation, I would say to figure out your printer and your ink situation before you start. Obviously, HP has like an HP ink program where you can get ink for like the low, I've been told, but I bought a Canon ink because the Canon printer that I chose tickled my fancy. So I purchased that. I didn't really think too much about the ink and all of that. So I would say do your research about ink and the cost of it and printers and print quality and all of that. So you don't have to keep trying out different printers and different inks and all of that. You can just come out the gate with the type of print quality, printer, and ink that you want. Moving on, as far as paper, so I have been using the Online Labels paper. The weatherproof matte, which is my premium matte, is a little it's a little pricey. So it's $60-ish, like 60 something dollars for 100 sheets, which is a whole lot of money. I have not really tried out any other type of paper. As you guys know, I did purchase that Milkcoast paper, but if you do the math, okay, well, let's time out. First of all, I did try out that paper. However, the ink did look the color did look a little different on that type of page as I projected would happen. Also, that paper was a little thinner than the matte paper that I'm using, not too much to my liking. And then third of all, once I did the math, that paper is actually the exact same amount as the paper that I'm already purchasing. So I'm not really saving any money if I switch up my paper quality. So I'm not going to be doing that as far as using the Milkos. I think that's what it's called. I will probably explore another option, or maybe try to purchase in like a larger bulk. My goal amount would be like $25 for 100 sheets of premium matte. But that's another story. I haven't even like began to explore other options. I've just been sticking to what I know because I'm always printing and cutting orders and filling orders that I feel like I don't have time to really do that type of experimentation. But that would be a suggestion as well, to get your paper situation in order, because if you try to switch up your papers and you're switching up your ink and all of that, it's just going to be drama. So try to figure out your printer situation and your paper situation. Now, as far as this premium matte thing, now if an OG seasoned Etsy shop owner, sticker shop owner wants to come correct me, that would be superb. But this is what I've gathered. What I've gathered is that premium matte paper actually like doesn't really exist. You can't just search premium matte and premium matte paper comes up. From my understanding, again, if somebody's out there that can correct me, I would be happy to know the correct answer, or whatever the case is. But from my understanding, premium matte doesn't actually exist. It's kind of like, okay, take the standard white paper. It's pretty grainy. It's not like of great quality. I wouldn't recommend using that paper for like any type of stickers, to be honest. So that's like a type of paper, standard white matte. Now this premium matte is really just like a better quality matte paper, and that's what makes it a premium matte type of paper. So like I said, I'm telling you that I use a premium matte, but I don't think you can like go search premium matte, because I tried to do that and nothing showed up. So basically you determine if the paper is premium pretty much based on if there is something that's below it, or if you look at it and it looks like a better quality of paper. That's how you determine premium matte. I know that's difficult to probably understand, but that's how I understand it, that premium matte doesn't really exist. Like, for example, the paper that I use is weatherproof matte. That's a real thing. You can search for weatherproof matte and that'll pop up. If you search for premium matte, it's not going to pop up, because the weatherproof matte is actually a premium matte. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. Let me know if it doesn't. I don't know that I can explain it better, but I could probably point you in the direction of like a premium matte type of paper. But the paper that I use is a weatherproof matte and basically a premium matte. So there's that. Moving on to, let's talk about some of the questions that I've gotten. So, somebody asked, do I want to mainly stick with budgeting stickers, or would I like to expand into other kinds? So the answer is basically absolutely not. I do not want to expand into other types of stickers. And the reason is, I've shared this before. Whenever I started my Etsy shop, I thought long and hard about what that would look like, because I work out with a personal trainer. I'm a full-time employee. I have a YouTube channel. I'm a wife. I am a mentor, all of this other stuff. I have a lot more things going on with my business that I have planned for 2019. I have all of this going on, so I had to think long and hard about, you know, how many orders I could commit to filling, how many sticker kits I could commit to filling every month, that kind of thing. And so all of that to say, at this point, I feel like I'm filling a decent amount. I fill about 200-ish orders every month, a little bit more, but not too much more than 200. And that's perfectly fine with me. I can't imagine filling more orders. I can't imagine selling different types of stickers and having more orders to fill. It just seems like the more, if I add more, then I'm going to have to do more work. And I honestly cannot commit to doing too much more work. There's just no way. No way possible. Like, there's literally no way. I do have my husband who helps. He will cut the heck out of some stickers, package orders, all of that. He'll do all of that. But even with his help, it's still a whole lot. Like, it still takes us like 2 days to fill, you know, orders and whatnot. So no, I don't think that I will be designing any other types of stickers, which is another question that I had. Somebody asked if I designed my budget template, and I did. I actually designed all of my stickers. It was fairly easy, honestly, but I did not want to, I don't want to say I didn't want to pay for different designs or have to pay somebody for this or for that, but honestly, the only thing that I'm willing to pay for is licenses for, the only things I am willing to pay for are licenses for the font, and licenses for different patterns. I'm not really trying to pay for, you know, other designs and stuff like that. So the budget template is all mine. I created it myself. Wasn't too difficult at all. I actually haven't come across one that you can buy, but I didn't really search for one either. But yeah, the budget template is mine, and all of the other stickers were designed by me. And again, they're pretty simple. There's basically squares and triangles and rectangles and flags. So it's pretty simple, but they were all designed by me. Another question I have is, well, a bunch of questions. How much time would you say it takes to create a design sticker monthly spread? So now that I have the template, it probably takes, for me to, like, let's say whenever I created February's budget kit, and I basically created that by building off of January's budget kit. And I would say that took me maybe a couple of hours. Yeah, probably like an hour or two. And the next thing that I want to mention is that I'm only selling budget kits and budget stickers and payday flags. That's it. So I don't do a whole lot of designing. I probably won't even change up any of the Build You stickers or the payday stickers, or probably even the template for the sticker kit, the budget kit, for all of 2019. So it doesn't take me a whole lot of time to design stickers. The next one is, and is everything you use to create it from the software. So I use the Silhouette software, and I buy my fonts from there, and I buy my patterns from there. So yes. What are some of the things that if you would have known them a few months ago, you would do differently? The ink drama for sure. And that's mainly it. Although my paper is expensive, the paper that I use, I don't know that I'm going to be changing that because I just absolutely love the quality of it. So I wouldn't say I would find like a cheaper paper, I don't think. Mainly just trying to figure out the printer and the ink situation. That's pretty much it. Everything else has been, you know, kind of like trial and error, but like a good trial and error. Nothing that I don't appreciate having gone through or having experienced. What's been the hardest part? The most stressful part was definitely the ink thing, because I was like, I can't keep buying this Canon ink. I'm not going to make any profit. I might as well just shut down the whole shop. So that was like the most stressful part for sure. I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was just kind of stressful and annoying. The hardest part, I don't know that there's a hard part, but the most annoying part is probably when the Silhouette machine doesn't cut the stickers like I need them to cut, which I'm about to show you all of my mishaps right now. So here are all of my mishaps. I would say this is probably a good 400 sheets of paper, easily. But I will tell you that some of the mishaps were my fault. Some of them were the printer's fault. Some of them just weren't cut properly. So probably half of these, if not more, were my fault. But I mean, that kind of comes, it's the nature of the business, the trial and error. Like sometimes I would print on the wrong side of the page because it's a little bit difficult to tell which side is which with some of these different, you know, sticker papers. But yeah, basically these are all of the mishaps. I would for sure say this is a good 400 sheets, which is pretty much like, I don't know, $250 down the drain. So yeah, that's that. But again, like I said, most of that was my fault. I will say that honestly. The printer does this job flawlessly. I haven't had any problems with it. And then the cutting machine will sometimes mess up every now and again, which is annoying, and I'll have to like restart Silhouette or restart the machine or whatever the case is. But I would definitely say most of that is my fault. What's the most rewarding? The most rewarding, I believe, is like the tail end of the operation where people are receiving the kits and sharing with me that they love them and that hopefully is going to help them to get their budgets together, that kind of thing. That's the most rewarding for sure. So that's some of the questions there. And then I just have a few more questions, I believe. So let me pull up those really quickly. So one question that I have is, would I ever consider having stickers like prepared already and having a limited amount, and then once it's sold out, it's sold out? So basically, like, for example, releasing 200 kits, already having those kits ready to go, and then releasing them and selling them, and when they're gone, they're gone. I don't know that I would do that. If things were ever super hectic, I would definitely limit the amount that I'm selling for sure. But as of right now, I don't think that I would do that, only because I'm a different kind of person. So I'm not going to I'm not going to sit around wasting time, is what I would consider it to be. Printing and cutting all these kits and all of these stickers and in hopes of selling them, and then not selling them, or then somebody placing a custom order, or somebody wanting glossy and I have premium matte, or whatever the case is. I don't know. I just don't see the point in doing so. I mean, I could see why that would be, how that would be beneficial and how that would work for some people and why people do it. But for me, I don't really know that I would do that. So my answer, I guess, to that question is no. Would I consider doing a monthly subscription for people who would like to purchase my monthly kits, and that way they get priority shipping versus other orders and other perks? Probably not. And the reason why I'm not really interested in doing any of that is because, well, first of all, I don't know how long I'm going to be in business. I'm for sure committing to 2019. I can't make any promises past 2019. Another thing is, like I've mentioned before, my Etsy shop is actually on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to my life. Literally everything in life comes before my Etsy shop, to include my YouTube and my full-time job and friends and family members and everything else. All of that comes before the Etsy shop. It's kind of like a side gig. I don't take it as seriously as I do like my YouTube channel and everything else, because I haven't really committed to it, and it's honestly like the thing in my life that makes it as full as it is. If you take away Etsy and filling orders and doing all of that, I free up a lot of time that I will at some point need to get back. So I can't keep living my life like this. I can't do it for too long. So that's why I don't, I don't think of Etsy as like an ongoing business, I guess. So that's why I don't really like a monthly subscription box. Probably not. By the time I get the monthly subscription box open and ready, it'll probably be the end of 2019. And by that time, I may not want to do Etsy anymore. It's that kind of thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but Etsy takes up a lot of my time. And like I said, it's that one thing that just consumes every waking moment now at this point. And like I said, at some point, I'm going to have to sacrifice some things, and Etsy would probably be the first thing to go. So I try not to create too many more stickers or have too many ideas with it, only because I already have no time at this point for really anything else. So I can't imagine making the workload even more difficult. And then it also says, in the future, what changes or other products can we expect? Probably no changes. I don't really see any changes. If there were a change, maybe like a tweak to the kit in some type of way, or maybe I create more stickers that I already have. Like I have many Bill Do stickers, but they aren't as plentiful as the other stickers, so I may add more of those. But nothing like anything like super major. No, that's pretty much it for that. would I have more than one monthly kit layout and colors to choose from? So I thought about doing that in the beginning, and that was my intentions. I don't know if you guys remember me saying that I wanted to release like 5 different kits or 5 different designs for January. But that is a lot of work, having that many, because as an example, I can, like, before I release a kit, I can have like a few of them. I wouldn't have like 200 of, like a whole bunch of them printed and cut and packaged, but I have been trying to like go ahead and print some of them off and cut some of them, maybe like 15 or 20, not like a whole bunch. And so in doing so, I'm able to like lessen my workload, essentially. Not technically, but it seems like that's what I'm doing. But if I were to release a bunch of different kits, I just feel like that would make my workload a little heavier. And again, I'm not really trying to make my workload any heavier because I'm already like at capacity. If I were to add really anything, if I were to do more work with Etsy, I wouldn't have time to do the other things that I want to do. And there are a whole bunch of other things that I want to do in 2019. And with the business, like the Shea Budgets brand, if you will, and Etsy's really not included in that. I mean, it's included in it, but there aren't any like real major goals that I have for Etsy. I have other goals outside of Etsy. So, which is a suggestion that I have. It's your shop. If you're making a shop, if you're trying to start a shop rather, it's your shop. You get to dictate it, just like everything else in life. You get to dictate your shop stuff. If you have a YouTube channel, you get to dictate that. If just your life in general, you get to dictate how your life goes in general. So with your Etsy shop, just know that it's yours. You get to make the rules and you get to dictate what happens and what doesn't happen. So I just have like a few more questions and my battery is blinking. So hopefully it doesn't shut off on us, because we are already at like 30 minutes. Let me go here really quickly. So, let's see. I am using, somebody asked if I'm using disposable ink cartridges or refillable ones. I reckon I'm using disposable ones. Do you have to have a business license to run an Etsy shop? No. Well, I don't. So, I don't think so. How do you do shipping? Do you Etsy shipping option? Yes, I do everything within Etsy. I have been informed of other methods that I can explore, but I've just been too lazy to do. I don't want to say too lazy, but I just don't have time to really sit and try to explore all of these different options. I obviously need to, but I have not done so yet, so I do everything within Etsy. That's pretty much it. Oh, advertising. And somebody asked what type of advertising I do and what I would do if I didn't have a YouTube channel. So I advertise on YouTube and on Instagram, obviously, and even on my Facebook page. That's pretty much the only way that I know how to advertise. I do have people who use my kits and stuff, so essentially they're advertising for me as well, like Michelle. If I did not have a YouTube, I probably wouldn't have an Etsy because it wouldn't even cross my mind. But if I didn't have a YouTube to advertise, I would probably try to make an Instagram page for my Etsy shop and advertise that way. Otherwise, I don't really know how else I would advertise because, you know, there are planner groups out there on Facebook and stuff with a lot of members, but you can't just be in there advertising your stuff. So that's not going to work. So I would probably try Instagram because the planner community is we're plenty over on Instagram. And let's see the other questions. I think that might be it. Somebody did ask me if I tried the Mill Coast paper. I did. I didn't mind the quality, but it's just not as great as the quality that I have now with the online labels paper. Did you purchase somebody also asked that I purchased a template with the license. I didn't purchase the template, so I didn't have to purchase a license. Somebody also asked, is the 2042 profit for every 6 weeks or 1 year's worth of profit? So that person was Teresa. I don't think she watches my channel because I haven't been in business for a year. So that was for the month. I did like, I think in my last video, I think in episode 4, I did the profit and all of that. Yeah, in episode 4, I did the profit, and that wasn't for a month. Actually, that was for a month and like a week. That was for like 5 weeks. But yeah, I haven't been in business for a year. So that profit was, I believe, for 5 weeks. So anyway, that's pretty much all of the questions that I got, and I answered some of them in like a question and answer type of way. The other ones I answered in the beginning in like a chit chat type of way. So if you have any other questions, then make sure you leave them down in the comment section. This wraps up this series, you guys. It was so fun. I'm so glad that you guys have learned. I've been in business for literally like 6 weeks, so I am still fairly new. I don't have all of the tricks of the trade. As I learn things, I do plan to share. Definitely follow me on Instagram because I'm always sharing little things over there. But it's been so exciting, and I'm so glad that you guys have come along with me as I become an Etsy shop owner. So anyway, again, this wraps up this series and this episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode and this series, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.